So those are little things that could help pile on to your savings. And you might say that may not make a dent, but it's the habit of doing it. If you do it on a regular basis, imagine the compounding effects. Don't just look at it from what you could save in a day or a week or a month. Look at the multiplier effect on how big of an amount you can save if you start the habit of doing it. Hey guys, so in this video, I want to go a different route. I know we've talked a lot about investing, but it's hard to invest if you don't have excess. It's hard to invest if you don't have extra that you could deploy for investing that you don't plan to touch. Please do remember that the strength of investing is that you have money. When you deploy that capital, you don't need it quickly, because if you need it quickly, it will highly change your perspective and the risks that you could actually take for investing. One way for you to be able to have more money for investing is to actually save money and to actually have more excess. And how do you get that excess? One way for you to actually do that is to cut your monthly expenses. And I want to share 10 things on how you can cut your monthly expenses so that you could actually have more to invest, or if you're in debt, you could actually have more to pay off your debt, or if you're in this journey to actually start saving money to have a surplus this 2023, this could be a kickstart for you to be able to do that. Number one is this. Super simple. Cut back on subscriptions services. Many people pay subscriptions that they don't use or you no longer need. You can review those subscriptions and cancel the ones that you don't use. I bet there are some people who have Netflix, have HBO, have Discovery. Maybe you don't need to maintain all of them, especially if you're in this season that you don't have any money for investing, you don't have any savings yet. Maybe you could cut the ones that you don't need and just retain the ones that you actually use on a regular basis. If you don't actually need all of those things, you can actually cut them all in. Number two is this. Reduce your grocery bill. Shop at discount stores, buy in bulk, and make a list before you go to the grocery to avoid impulse buys. This is very fascinating that if you have a list, it protects you from deviating from the things that you would actually want to buy. Especially if you wanted to buy a particular item, say fish or corned beef, that you could actually also put the brand that you would want to put in, and you could also put in an amount that's like a budget for it, so that you don't go over budget. When you start budgeting, is you could put an amount that you will only spend for that particular grocery trip. So as you set that target, do whatever you can to not go over it. Meaning also, if you're above that amount already, you have to take out some items. But above and beyond that, if you could buy in bulk, because you could get things cheaper, that would be very, very useful for you as well. Number three is this. Lower your utility bills. Use energy efficient appliances. Turn off lights and electronics when not in use, and make sure your home is well insulated. And I think this is not just also for you to be able to save money, but it helps save the earth, save the planet, if you don't use electricity or consume lights that you don't need as much. So those are little things that could help pile on to your savings. And you might say that may not make a dent, but it's the habit of doing it. If you do it on a regular basis, imagine the compounding effects. Don't just look at it from what you could save in a day or a week or a month. Look at the multiplier effect on how big of an amount you can save if you start the habit of doing it. Number four is this. When I was younger, it's what I did. That's why I was able to save a lot of money also. Cut back on dining out. Eating out can be a significant expense. Try cooking at home more often and taking your lunch to work instead of buying it. If you try to compute just going to the market or the grocery and having it cooked and bringing it to the office or eating at home, you'll save a large amount of money, especially if you go out and eat in restaurants on a regular basis. It will sharply decrease your spending power. It's hassle, and sometimes you don't get to go with your friends when you would go out, but you have to realize that it's a season. And when I was starting out, that's what I did. My friends felt I was killjoy, that I wouldn't join them. They would actually go out, but my dreams, my desires, my plans, and my goals were much, much bigger than enjoying and gratifying myself that particular moment. Please always remember it's about delayed gratification, not immediate gratification, because you will still gratify yourself, but it just doesn't have to be now. Set a budget for eating out, and the rest, try to do it for groceries. It will be even healthier, and then it will also be cheaper for you, and the rest you can save it also. Number 5 is this: reduce transportation costs. Walk, bike, take public transportation instead of driving. We sometimes, as Filipinos also, especially for people who live in countries that's relatively hot, we don't like to walk, but walking is good. It's an exercise also, and it's therapeutic as well, and you'll save a lot of money. So try it. Maybe if you're going to the office and you feel that it's gonna make your clothes wet from perspiration, then maybe you can do it while you're walking home or while you're going home. There are certain things that you could save if you cut back also on transportation costs. Leave earlier instead of taking Grab. One of the hacks that I did also, and I know it's not applicable anymore right now because everywhere you go there's parking payment, but when I was younger, I would walk very far just as long as I could park in the free parking area, and that 20 pesos for me was something that I would save. It felt like a win already for me. Number 6, highly connected to subscription services. Cancel unnecessary memberships, gym memberships, country club memberships, and other memberships that you don't actually need or you don't actually use as well. So I guess if there's a prevailing theme to what I'm saying, it's cutting off things that don't really matter to you, cutting off things that will take out money from you, cut off things that will just be an expense and won't really add to you, especially if you don't use it as much. If you use it, it makes you feel productive, you can keep it, but this is under the context of there are certain things that you don't use as much. Those are the things that you could cut off as well. Number 7, highly connected also to eating out, is reduce your entertainment expenses. Instead of going to the movie or buying expensive video games, consider doing stuff online, renting stuff or streaming stuff online, which won't cost you a large amount of money, which will also entertain you. YouTube is free. Watching videos like this is free. Streaming stuff in Spotify using a free version is also free. So there's a lot of ways for you also to be entertained, to be educated without spending a lot of money, or walk to the parks, or have a sport, or read a book. And here's a narrative also: it's okay to entertain yourself, but if it's all entertainment and you're not educating yourself, you're missing out as well. Number 8 is this: shop around for insurance. You can compare insurance rates and shop for the best deals. And I think this will also go for other purchases that you will make. Canvas for a gadget, for a house, for an investment, for insurance, for clothes that you want to buy, for the school of your children. You don't always have to buy every time it's offered to you for the first time, and then deploy capital to the one that makes sense to you. Number 9 is this: trim your phone and internet bill. Look at the cheaper phone plans and internet service provider. So this also happened to me though. There were certain packages for my mobile that I didn't feel that I didn't use as much. So I trimmed down my mobile bill. I trimmed down my monthly subscription because I felt that it was a waste. I thought initially that I would use it, but after 2 years of having it, I didn't really use it, so I just felt it was a waste. So I significantly dropped a lot of the services that I have for my mobile, and I just, like, for now it's pretty much doubled down on data because I use a lot of data as well. For clothes, you could save a lot on clothing. You don't actually have to buy the branded stuff, and even for me, I just wear plain black shirts because it's also simpler for me also that I don't have to think about what I would want to wear because they're all mostly black. And it's easy for me to decide also, and I don't have to be pressured on what I'm gonna wear next because it's all the same, and it doesn't matter to me if it's branded or expensive. And maybe that could be your narrative also. You could shift and not go to any fancy branded items, clothes, or shops, or designer clothes, but you could go to items that are quality. Please also remember this, that your confidence and your value is never about what you could buy. You don't actually need to spend and buy expensive stuff just to feel confident. Confidence comes from the inside out. But one way for you to be able to save money, go to thrift stores, or if you really want to buy something that's branded, just go for it when it's on sale, or try to save money for it from your clothing budget. But very, very important is do not buy impulsively. Think about it. You don't have to buy it at that very moment. So those are 10 things that I hope could help you so that you can save more this 2023. Do you have any other suggestions on how other people can also save? Put them down in the comment section below so that other people can see it. Do you think this list that I gave was something that's helpful? I want to know your thoughts about it as well. And if you made it up until then, appreciate it if you'd like, share, subscribe, smash the bell, put a comment down below. It will greatly help the YouTube algorithm. And if you want to learn more about the books that I've written, the 7 books that I have, and everything else about the Yales are in the description below. So I guess that's it for now. Marvingermo. I hope this video helps you trade well, trade strong, trade smart. See you all again soon, and God bless you all.